Hi, everyone. It's KJ from For Life Coaching. And of course, the parent company is Beyond My Expectations, LLC. I'm here today with Marcus Boyd. He's an autism activist. He is a music recorder, producer, composer. Am I getting there? I'm almost there.
You
All right.
out there.
I'm about there. I'm about there. So what is it? Help me get it right. You are
I'm a music producer, composer, gospel rapper.
Gospel rapping. Okay. And so he is also a person with autism who's an autism activist. And he actually is doing a phenomenal program tomorrow. He's actually appearing or speaking at the Alicia Navarro Community Awareness Day in Phoenix, Arizona, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. He's also going to be working with the police force in Phoenix, Arizona, with regards to autism awareness. And so the amazing thing is that the program that he'll be at tomorrow is a Latino community awareness program for a missing person. And how much Spanish do you speak, Marcus?
Very little. I speak very little Spanish. That's why I praise God. It's a bilingual event. So the Spanish community and the non-Spanish community will be able to take effect in it.
Yes. And so you know what? Never ever limit where God wants you to be or what you can do with your skill set. So it seems like a great opportunity for awareness. Can you tell me a little bit about tomorrow? A little bit, just a little bit about what is going to happen.
Tomorrow is going to be 13 speakers. A lot of people coming from out of state, a lot of human trafficking, a lot of police, a lot of military, a lot of awareness on the young lady that's been missing for 2 years since the change. A lot of billboards been going up. There's a $20,000 reward for her safe return. From Mexico to Phoenix, Arizona, and everywhere in between. So, and the young lady, has autism. So my thing is to be able to spread light on not only just my story, but on why it's so important that we bring this help to bring this young lady home.
So let me ask you something. How did participating in this event, lead to you actually working with the police force in Arizona? And what is your goal or what is your hope in working with the police force?
Phoenix. One of the members that's on the board of the churches of the Dream Church in Phoenix, Arizona. She been working with human trafficking for 11 years, and with a lot of the sheriffs and chief of police in Arizona per city. So she said that that's how I got the foot in the door, because tomorrow I will be introduced to a lot of chief of police in different cities in Arizona, and we're setting up events to where we can bring law enforcement and autism together. And I'm going to be the teacher on the autism side.
And what is your goal? What are you hoping to get from this? But before we say that, let me just say this. One of the more challenging things in working with autism is approximately 85% of individuals with autism have a comorbid psychological condition. So what happens is when you're looking at one person with autism, you're looking at one person with autism. And so beyond the psychological comorbidities or coexistence, there's 50 to 80% of individuals with autism have sleeping disorders, so they're missing their sleeping at night, and sleep is essential. 85% have gastrointestinal challenges or disorders, which means, when you got to go to the bathroom, sometimes you're not as friendly and happy-go-lucky. I mean, you're not feeling like Mary Poppins and Mickey Mouse. You're feeling like, I got to go. And then also beyond that, 25 to 40% have seizures or stiff man person syndrome. And stiff man person syndrome, we all know, looks like seizures, but should not be treated medically the same way as seizures. So when you're dealing with these things that are layered on top of a social behavior, it doesn't make that social behavior as simple or as cookie cutter as a person might perceive. So what is your goal, or what is your hope for tomorrow? Or what is your hope for working with the policemen?
I think one of my end goals is working with the policemen is providing police officers better opportunities and options to how they will be able to interact and deal with the autism community. to give them knowledge and to give them more resources, to give them more understanding from a personal level versus textbooks or researching, and to really work and provide new programs and new opportunities that will help not only the law enforcement, but the autism community as well.
Right, right, right. Help parents, help teachers, help anyone who services them, help the community, because they have to engage. We have to engage with the community, whether we're employed or whatever it may be in the community, we still have to engage. So to make sure that there's that awareness there, there's that cohesiveness there, there's that support there so that they can excel. And also, like I said, everyone around them can excel in that environment. So with that in mind, what are some of the ways that you think we can help? And let me just say this really quickly. A lot of the stats that I gave you beforehand, you can find with CHOP, Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, and several other resources. One of the things that really drew me to what you're talking about is, and people may not know, is that 49%, almost 50% of individuals with autism elope. That means when they are in a safe environment, they may flee and run off. That's why you hear about kids running into the woods. That's why you hear about kids escaping to different areas, because the tension, the pressure, the anxiety of coexisting when they are not ready to be in an escalated social environment may cause them to pick up and flee, unexpectedly pick up and flee. So with that in mind, and with the high rate of individuals who are, of course, once again, higher rate of individuals who are working with the police force in whatever way with autism, tell me a little bit about the urgency, or tell me a little bit about your vision, or what will it look like? What would success look like for you?
Success will be, autism and law enforcement working together. May it be all law enforcement classes that they take, like college classes, like curriculums. They learn about not only the autism individual, but autism behavior, autism, likeness, and everything in between. Where they're actually taking courses and learning, and they're actually having hands-on experience, and they're actually spending time with a lot of autism individuals in their communities. And success for me would be adding programs that law enforcement and autism individuals and people in the communities can be able to benefit from. That they understand that basically they can work together, they can coexist together. And if law enforcement get more knowledge on autism and autism get more knowledge on law enforcement, then I do believe it could be a better world.
Right, right. More coping mechanisms, more communication tools, so that when kids see a police officer, they may run towards them instead of running away from them. Because you think about it, if we're watching TV, right, and we see policemen always arresting kids, always attacking kids and that kind of stuff, if I'm running, I might not run to the policeman, right? So maybe some dialogue to make them know, that when this happens, this is actually for your safety. This is actually to help you. This is actually to aid you. This is actually to guide you back to your parents. So coming up with those modules that actually take us from a point of, expectations and communications over here, and expectations and communications over here, to a bridge that makes it easier to help to make sure that we get to a safer, comprehensive means or solution. Let me ask you this. Yes. Marcus, your story, your experience, your exposure is so powerful. How anyone can listen to your bio that you gave me without shedding a tear, reflecting, or thinking about how they can get involved to make a difference, how they can help you in sharing your story and giving parents hope, because at a certain age they're like, look, he's just autistic and he's not going to be able to make it. So how, instead of having that narrative, having another narrative saying, hey, look, you know what? It's where we are right now, but there's always room for better. There's always room for success. So changing that narrative and giving more hope, which you are hope in a bottle. I told you, you're like the hope in the bottle. If you wanted to compartmentalize hope. How can people help you share your story and share your positive light and what can be done with police force and etc. How can people help you get there? How can, if I hear your story today and I hear the need, how do I help you?
Well, if any individual wants to help me, they can contact me by telephone. It's 520-330-0242. Again, it's 520-330-0242. Or they can email me at autism activist Marcus Boyd. That's one word, autism activist Marcus Boyd at gmail.com. If any individual wants me to come to any location, they would just have to contact me. Let's go ahead and put it on my calendar, or let's work out a good cohesive situation to where it can be on my calendar. And as long as people are agreeing to my travel and speaking expenses, then I'm gonna do anything, and I'm willing to help anywhere I can with autism.
You're, like I said, you are so powerful and so insightful. And I think right now, I don't even think right now, I know right now, people need story hope. You know, I work with parents, I work with individuals as a life coach, I work with coworkers, I work with so many people, and I hear their stories, and people need hope, and you provide hope and tools and avenues and resources and skill sets and all this other kind of stuff to really move move things forward for autism, move things forward for families, and like I said, move things forward for communities. So with all that in mind, I wanted to ask you, when you speak tomorrow, when you speak to this audience tomorrow, what do you think, will happen? What do you think will be the next step after tomorrow?
The next step is to speak to more people, to get more ears, to get more people involved, to get more people to roll up their sleeves and to understand that change has to happen. The outlook and the vision of autism has to be altered. So, that would be the next step, is to provide more speaking, more resources, and more hope, and show that there is success in autism.
Right. I always say, look, if you want to get involved, there's 3 ways to get involved. You can either donate your time, roll up your sleeves, get busy and do some of the work that needs to be done, logistics, marketing, whatever it may be. You can, or get speakers or whatever it may be. But once again, roll up your sleeves. Number 2, you can actually donate dollars, because there's no cause, there's no interest, there's no mission, vision, whatever, that does not need financial support. Right? And you can allocate dollars towards whatever it may be, or allocate dollars towards your travel, allocate dollars towards your dining expenses, towards your whatever it may be, to make sure that you are able to speak and have the best platform to speak on. And then number 3, another way that people can do it is they can get involved with regards to legislation and, creating bills and acts and next steps of how to make sure that the changes that are made or the success that is provided is sustainable. Because sometimes, we get that adrenaline, we're going, and we get like and we're like, okay, we got an applause. But sometimes policies need to be set in place to make sure that adrenaline and that moving forward and that forward motion doesn't just stop and then fizzle out and then dissipate. So, but once again, please tell me once again, tomorrow you are going to do.
I am speaking. I am speaking about my story of autism, and I'm speaking about the young lady and the situation, and bring more awareness for autism. And that's tomorrow at the Dream Church right there in Phoenix, Arizona. It's the community day. It's the community day. It's a bilingual event. It's from 4 to 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I'm just honored to be there and to be a part of this process.
And can we watch it on TV or YouTube or not YouTube or?
It will be on It will be on which is the Spanish network. It will be on local news and stuff of that nature. But don't worry, for all my people out there, I'm Facebooking it. I'm gonna put it on Facebook, so I'm gonna video it so people can see and see what's going on and stuff of that nature. So.
Wow. Well, Marcus, you are a hero. I'm here in North Carolina. I have 2 teach certificates. I would love for you to somehow come and speak to teach and share your insight and your knowledge. I mean, there are a lot of people here in autism. Like I said, this is where Teach is headquartered, Frank Porter Graham Building at UNC Chapel Hill.
I will be honored. I will be honored to go to Teach or any other school or any other facility to help spread this message, to help bring more of a change, to help change the vision and the look of autism.
Yes, hope and remove some of those limitations, some of those barriers. I mean, there's a Duke Center for Autism and Brain Development program at Duke University where they're working on different solutions to help individuals with autism have the best quality of life. That's actually in their mission statement, to help individuals with autism have their best quality of life. Like I said, you've got Teach at UNC Chapel Hill, you've got Teach affiliates in Raleigh. You've got a phenomenal autism program at Meredith University, teaching program. You got a phenomenal program at UNC Greensboro. There's a teaching program where actually individuals with autism take college courses. I cannot remember the name of it. I think it's something about expectations as well, but beyond, no, it's not. I can't remember what it is, but anyway, the bottom line is there's a whole mecca of resources right here in North Carolina. And who knows, maybe some individuals from North Carolina will hear this presentation and will chime in, and let's see if we can get you to North Carolina to actually share your story, share insights, share hope, give tools, provide tools for more successful outcomes for individuals with autism, because we've got to have it, because your story tells us about some of the things that can happen if we don't move forward and do the things that need to be done. And also your story tells us about what happens when people do play an active role, and it's a community, it's a group of people. It's not one person that does it, it's a group of people that come together. So when you have that group of people, when you have that network, there can be successful outcomes such as yours. I mean, you won awards. I mean, just tell me a little bit about your accolades. Go ahead, brag. This is bragging time. Tell us who you are.
Well, I am a 13-time musical.
But tell us who you are.
I don't want to brag myself. I'm a 13-time musical award-winning music producer, composer. I am the first African-American male to win 4 Autism Activist Awards, and I've been nominated for a Grammy 7 times. And I have 2 ASCAP, 2 BMI awards. So I've been doing this for a long time. I've just been blessed that God honored me to win those awards. And it's not even about the awards. It's about every individual, every family member, every community that deals with autism, because it's deeper than my story. It's about being a voice and a change for the autism communities worldwide.
Right. And you are in what countries? What countries have you spoken in or shared your story in?
Dubai, London. Next is I'll be sharing my story in the Philippines. And and we're gonna keep Australia. We're gonna keep Australia on the books. That might be coming next. Keep it quiet. Exclusive.
I won't tell nobody. And also we need to get you more visible in the US. It's amazing that these other countries are holding you to such high esteem. I mean, 1.2 million viewers, 1.2 million listeners in the UK. I mean, come on. So the same exact thing that you're doing internationally, and providing hope and providing insight, and they're making continuous strides with autism. We need to do the same thing in the US, and we need to do the same thing in North Carolina. So once again, Marcus, I am a huge fan. I thank you so much for everything, what you're doing for families, for the community. You are a blessing and you're amazing. Thank you. And good luck tomorrow. And I can't wait to hear the recap of what happens with the presentation and the insight and the changes that are coming along. Did I lose you?
No, I'm here. I'm a super big fan of yours. I'm a super big fan of, Beyond My Expectations, everything that you're doing to change, to put supportiveness, to put inclusion with exercise and autism, to let everybody know that you can merge and have both at the same time. You don't have to separate. There can and will be more success with autism. So, and I'm just, that's why I stand behind Beyond My Expectations, because it's more than a program. It's more than a statement. It's a pillar that needs to be in more communities, rather than just in North Carolina. It needs to be worldwide, and it will be worldwide, because we have to be able to exercise our faith, our determination, and our movement to be able to change how people see and how we operate with autism. And one of those major changes is exercise.
Yes, yes, yes. We all need endorphins. So you need endorphins. The person beside you needs endorphins. We all need endorphins. So, you know, I continuously hear stories about the change and the impact and the influence of exercise. So the goal is, you know, how do you get exercise to more people? How do you make sure that, you know, if somebody needs to do it at full tilt, because remember, Beyond My Expectations is designed for the super athlete. You know, it's designed for the U.S. Olympic invitee Hamilton Cottrell that we spoke to. It's designed for Irvin Bryson, you know, the football coach of the Carolina Thunder, who has won several championships. Is designed for those individuals. But just like you riding a 10-speed bike, we have the capability to have certain hours and certain times set aside so that if you need training wheels to do what somebody else does on the big bike, we give you the training wheels, and we give you the option to continuously progress so that you choose the social setting that's best for you. So if you choose to, this is the vision, guys, this is a vision for Beyond My Expectations. So if you choose to work in a more, in a quieter setting, in a smaller setting, that option will be available for people with more challenges with autism and being in social environments. And there's another environment for families. There would be another environment for families. And then finally, there would be the community environment. But the thing is, a lot of times individuals with autism don't have the opportunity to choose. You know, there's a limitation. You belong here and that's it. And different individuals have different skill set. Different individuals have different coping skills, coping mechanisms, and they are able to thrive in different environments. You know, like I look at my middle son, Jay. My middle son, Jay, he had to be in the crowd. He had to be in the crowd. He had to be around people, you know, especially when it came to swimming and all the other kind of stuff, swimming, jumping on the trampoline. I mean, he was so good until they had him doing the shot put, not for the Special Olympics, but he was working with the Triangle Champion Track Club on shot put with the mainstream team. But that is where his skill set was. And if I had just allowed individuals to put their confines around him, you know, he would have never learned how to roller skate. He can roller skate. He would have never learned how to roller skate, would have never learned how to lift weights. He would have never learned how to be in the gym. He would have never learned how to swim. And he can swim, he can jump off the diving board and all the rest. So once again, yes, that is the goal, to create a more inclusive, more comprehensive environment. And Marcus, I thank you once again for providing hope. Your story is powerful. I will share the link to your story in this with this recording. So is there anything else you'd like to say before we end the conversation? Did I miss anything?
No, but I will say that I support, I love, and I believe in everybody that has autism, that works with autism, that volunteers with autism. I stand with you. You're not alone. You're geniuses. You're creative. You can do anything you put your mind to, and when you put God first. Don't let no be your last final destination, and always reach beyond infinity.
Excellent. Well, once again, Marcus, thank you so much for everything. And I'm really excited about what you're doing as far as giving hope, and anything that I can do to help you along the way, please let me know. Thanks again. Good luck tomorrow. Oh, I'm supposed to wave goodbye too. Wait.